Recreating a movie trailer in LEGO has its pros and cons. On one hand, your creativity is restricted due to the fact that everything you are animating is based off of someone else's vision. But on the other hand, it is a fun way to put your animating skills to the test and experiment with new techniques. When animating nearly 20 shots for Brickfilm Day's Bohemian Rhapsody trailer recreation, I utilized several tricks that all brick filmers should use, if they want to be champions, that is. Stop motion takes time. Usually one of the longest steps is building the set on which your animation is taking place. This can take hours. To minimize this process, it is a good idea to build while your camera is on. If the front of a car is all you see in a shot, then just build the front of the car. If you are building a miniature landscape seen through a window, then just build what you can see through the window. This is a commonly given piece of advice to brick filmers, but it is fundamental to getting animation done quicker. Perfecting the lighting of your shot can be done with a variety of techniques. One that I find especially useful in darker settings is reflection using a light-colored surface. In these two shots, the lighting in the building is caused by a desk lamp pointed downward, which has its light reflected toward the camera with a piece of paper. Reflection can also be used to fill up shadows, as shown here. Another technique that was particularly useful in this project was the use of micro LEDs. These lights often come connected by a string of wire that is connected to a battery box. These wires and lights are so small that they can travel through some of the tiny spaces in LEGO bricks. I have used them in the headlights of cars as well as interior details. These LEDs are really useful, and if you are an animator, I highly recommend you get them. They should be under 20 bucks per pack. One last way I controlled lighting in my shots was in editing. I use a program called Motion, and one of the many things it allows me to do is create a spotlight. One simple way you can do this is to cover your shot with a black rectangle, bring down its opacity, make an inverted circular mask in the middle of it, and feather out the edges. As a result, you get a more focused shot. I would only recommend, however, that you do this in shadowy settings. If done wrong, it can look a little bit forced. Rain is fairly easy to pull off in a brick film if you have the right software. For these two shots, I actually recycled the rain effect from my LEGO Minecraft film I made last year. Motion has a neat feature called particle emitters, and rain streaks is one of the default effects. I simply duplicated this particle emitter across the screen and even enlarged and blurred out a few to make them seem closer to the camera. Finally, I added some blue color correction, and boom, there's your rain. To add some realism, I sprinkled water on LEGO Freddy by striking a toothbrush. I recommend that if you do this, you dry your set afterwards. Water spots do not look good on LEGO. Well, that's all for this episode of Behind the Action. If you have any questions about the making of these shots, go ahead and ask them in the comments down below. Also, be sure to go check out the actual LEGO Bohemian Rhapsody video by clicking the link in the description or by clicking it right here. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and stay cool.
Ready, Freddy?
Let's do it.